I like to start off with a quote by Andy Serkis from BrainyQuote.com. Every age has a storytelling form, and video gaming is a huge part of our culture. You can ignore or embrace video games and imbue them with the best artistic quality. People are enthralled with video games in the same way as people love the cinema or theater. Have you ever wondered how some of your video games and mobile device gaming apps are created? Well, hello. My name is Bernard Thompson, and today is the day that I give you some insight on how it's accomplished. I will talk to you about how the video game concept is birthed, the process of bringing that concept to life, and finally, how video games are distributed around the world. Now, all the information you're going to hear today is personal first-hand experience of being a video game tester for Ubisoft for 2 years. Now, let's start with how a video game concept is birthed. Video game concepts can come from anyone with a story to tell or a story to tell about a drawing or painting. People with active imaginations and a knack for creating whole new worlds for people to explore, or bring a sports fanatic that much closer to walking in the shoes of their favorite sports personality. Now, some game concepts can derive from movies that are already in existence, and add a whole new side of a story that enthusiasts only wondered about. Just remember that imagination equals creation, which brings me to how that concept is brought to life. Now, bringing a video game concept to life takes a lot of work by various groups of people. First, the pitch. Thousands of games are pitched to software companies on a weekly basis, and out of all those ideas, only a few are selected on the next step, on to the next step, which is bringing video games to life. Now, the various groups of people that I mentioned earlier consist of concept art teams. Now, your concept art team, pretty much, they draw everything: architecture, vegetation, color schemes, armor schemes, vehicle schemes, team uniforms, shoes, you name it. Every detail it all starts with a concept of the art team. Now, once those concepts are finished, then the art team sends it over to the video graphic design team. Now, these video graphic design teams then put all those concepts into a 3D art generator. And from there, they can add new colors, shaders, they can stretch the object, shrink the object, they can bring a whole city to life with different sorts of buildings and vegetation. Now, after that team is done, you have your music production team. Now, your music production team, they create the mood for the video game. Such moods as you want to feel suspense or happy or sad or just a general flow to the game. After that, you got your video game test teams. That's the team I was a part of. So it's our job to play the game level by level and make sure that there's no bugs or kinks, or that certain characters don't have the same color or look the same as another character that we're trying to see that's different. So with all that information, we relay that back to our video graphic design team, which in turn make the changes, put it back into the game, and then we go back and test it again. So after that's done, then you got your sales and the distribution teams. Now, these teams are your advertisers. These are the ones that create the commercials and get the game buzz out, usually about a year out before the game's actually even released. All of these teams come together to bring consumers the best possible product. Now, the sales distribution team brings me to my last topic, which is distributing the video games to consumers around the world. Now, distribution of video games is not an exact science, but it sounds like it should be. Software companies will send out bids on contract to various carriers such as UPS, FedEx, DHL, to name a few. The company to land such a contract gets to bring joy to millions of people across the globe, with millions of video game units to be placed on store shelves. Now, once on the shelves, consumers will gladly wait in lines that sometimes wrap around buildings just to get their hands on the latest and greatest software companies have to offer. Now, with that being said, I think it's time to wrap this speech up and get back to doing what I like to do best. Yeah, you guessed it, playing video games. Today I talked about how a video game concept is birthed and that imagination equals creation. I also talked about how that concept is brought to life with the various teams and last but not least, how those video games are shared with the rest of the world through distribution. Now I want to leave you with a quote from Jennifer Hill from BrainyQuote.com. Now that's really one of the things I love about video games. It's a whole new world every time you start. Thank you.